Welcome back everyone to the Mineski Pro Gaming League presented to you by HeflaTV. This is Drink Milk versus Insidious Idol in game number 2 in a 2-game series. My name is Coucher and I am joined by Mito. Am I joined by you? maybe not, maybe he'll pop in later. Maybe he has his mic muted. Who knows? But Insidious Idol, they had a pretty convincing game number 1, just early rotations, getting them the early lead, and they never gave it away. They had some problems breaching high ground, but in the end we were just able to overpower Drink Milk anyway. But looking at the bans now, the draft, the Brewmaster and the Enchantress actually banned out by Drink Milk, so yes, Brewmaster is a rather standard first phase ban anyway, but the Enchantress nowhere near as the first ban material, at least not against 90% of the teams. Whereas Insidious Idol started with the Doombringer. Are they going for something else?
Wow, so game number 2 has already started. It was a lot faster than I expected. Just went to wash my hands, get ready for game 2, and it's happening. And it is going to be a dire Lycan pick. This is amazing. I did not expect Lycan to make it through the pool. That hero on the dire side, it just, oh man. It really does get into your head. It's like, when is he going to be going for the Roshan? Because we all know you can't really detect smokes anymore. So you just have to keep something there. A Templar Assassin would be pretty good. Just keep a trap inside. A jungler like Chen Enchantress, that would be great as well. Otherwise, Lycan, every 5-10 minutes or so, supports have to just go in and check and be like, yeah, is he here this time? It really does mess with you quite a bit.
It certainly does, but Insidious Idol picking up a Faceless Void and a Razor together. And Faceless Void, of course, is really good against Lycan, just shutting him down even through the hasted movement speed of the Shapeshift, of course. And Drink Milk, they choose to not pick up a strong pushing support hero like a Shadow Shaman, instead going for a Viper, so both teams actually starting strong with 2 cores straight off the bat.
Wow, indeed. And we get the infamous Razor plus Faceless Void combination once again. But this time, I'm fairly certain that a Skywrath Mage will not make it into the second pick phase. Otherwise, you know what's gonna happen, right? Just an easy chrono and then boom shakalaka.
Yeah, that's definitely not a combination you want to really hand out. Of course, we might even see an Invoker ban, possibly. Ysero plays a pretty good Invoker, if I'm not mistaken, from his ex-Orange days when I saw him, or casted him a little bit more. As Insidious Idol, banning out the Shadow Shaman, of course. I mean, it's kind of a given ban when the Lycan is already there for Drink Milk.
Ah, okay. So I actually just got a bit of a update from other people. Apparently, well, from Heflamoke and as well as the chat, they're saying you can't miss from low ground to high ground with MKV. So that is something I learned today, and I guess
yeah,
I'm really glad to be here.
It also, the updates were that you can't miss from low ground to high ground when hitting heroes or creeps, but buildings you can still miss.
Ah, okay, so there's a differentiation between the two. That's interesting. Well, learn something, and I'm happy. Every day is a new day for improvements. But what's gonna be following up? Oh man, Ancient Apparition. Haven't seen this hero in a bit, and I would say this is a beautiful pickup. They have a good initiation with the Faceless Void. This also somewhat guarantees that their laning phase, should Milk decide to go for aggressive trial lane, at least Insidious Idol will be able to fight back, depending on what the last support is going to be. But Ancient Apparition plus Faceless Void, those right clicks hurt a lot.
Yeah, they do indeed, and the Skywrath Mage actually wasn't banned out after all. Drink Milk taking out the Tinker rather than the Skywrath Mage, whereas Insidious Idol banned out the Nature Prophet as the second one. But now, just imagine there being a Skywrath Mage as well, making the tri lane possibly even stronger for Insidious Idol, just chilling touch on 3 ranged heroes, getting an additional slow from the concussive shot. It could be just so damn devastating. But now they go for a 3M Protector instead. That's a little bit surprising and weird to me.
I think it's really weird because I've never seen people pick Treant up against Lycan because it just doesn't do anything. Up against teams that can chip away at towers extremely fast, remove those charges, such as heroes like Lycan right there. And then you have Enchantress, Chen, Enigma, Treant isn't all that useful. Treant, what he's good at is against lineups that are not so good at pushing. So every time they come and try to chip away at the towers and fails to take it, he can always heal them back up. And another factor is Shadow Demon as well as Viper. These are, in fact, every single hero that Milk has right now is good against the living armor. And this is just somewhat scary to look at, to be honest. Why the Treant, of all things?
I have no clue at all. I mean, Leech Seed into the Chronosphere, best wombo combo 2014. Of course, I mean, maybe the Treant Protector is just gonna serve as the initiation himself. Be under the nature skies, scout things out, bam! Press that R button, get the overgrowth going, and then the Faceless Void comes in, but I just feel like there would have been so many more better heroes. I would have even preferred something like a Rubik, like just stealing the guaranteed Viper Strike, for example, or something, I don't know.
Rubik makes perfect sense. If you steal the Wolf form, the ulti form, that's great. If you steal the Viper Strike, needless to say, that's gonna work in your benefit. If you still say the disruption from the Shadow Demon, or even like Demonic Purge, Soul Catcher, anything seems to be good. But a Treant Protector, I'm still baffled by the choice, the decision here. I just don't understand how this hero works. Well, I do understand how the hero works, but how does it work in conjunction with the lineup? Because right now, if we're looking at it, don't you want just huge damage, like huge bursts? You have the Ancient Apparition Ice Blast landing on heroes. The HP is gonna tick bit by bit. So that's already damage over time you have right there. Faceless Void, he's gonna be right-clicking away. He doesn't offer you all that much in the early game. He needs items, and if the Faceless Void is gonna be played as an offlaner, that takes time. That's why you see Faceless Void is always paired up with heroes such as Skywrath Mage, because they just dish out tons and tons of nuke. But Treant Protector, that hero is just so lackluster.
To be honest, I mean, I can maybe somewhat understand why not going for Skywrath Mage, but I would have gone for like a Witch Doctor or something that actually has his stun as well, because now, actually looking at their lineup, I mean, yes, they have big ultimates and strong heroes individually on Insidious Idol, but they don't have a single disable between them apart from the Overgrowth and the Chronosphere, but both of those are ultimates. So, I mean, Razor, can he actually chase people down? I guess the Leech Seed and Ice Vortex Slow will have to be enough as far as laning is concerned.
Wow. I'm still lost for words. Like you said, Witch Doctor, that would have been such a sick hero to have. Because if he jumps in, I mean, if Batrider jumps in, tries to pull anyone, Witch Doctor can easily counteract just by throwing down a cask. Witch Doctor, in Dota history, is probably one of the best counter-initiating heroes, along with like Earthshaker. Because whenever you try to whenever the opponent tries to dive your teammates, you throw out the cask, you throw out the Fissure, and that's the end of it. The gank stops right then and there. And it works really well with the Faceless Void as well, right? You chrono, and then you drop the Death Ward, and then it just goes to work, and then bounce, 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 bounce.
Well, I guess we just have to drop the matter and let the Insidious Idols just actions speak louder than, or rather, I don't know, Ian. Actions can speak louder than other actions, because drafting is also an action when I just completely screwed that up. But now they do pick up an Invoker, so that's still gonna be a lot of damage input into the Chronosphere. Sunstrikes, Chaos Meteors, Deafening Blast. But Drink Milk, having the Batrider, of course. I'm not the biggest fan of Batrider against Razor, because Razor really isn't a prime target, since if you go for the lasso, you're gonna get purged and slowed down immediately from it. So either gonna have to catch the Invoker, Faceless Void, or actually maybe even an Ancient Apparition might not be too bad of a catch. But Jakiro, the last pick for Drink Milk, they finally get an additional support hero, or well, any hero that can push as well. But Drink Milk,
Wow.
They're pretty damn reliant on just having the Lycan work out for them.
Well, so far, looking at the lineups, I just feel Insidious Idol that their lineup is so level 6 dependent. So, the question for me would be the early game once again. Will they be able to get to their level 6 for the heroes to come into full effect? Well, Invoker, naturally, he doesn't need the level 6, but he does need a lot of levels to be extremely effective. Faceless Void, without the Chronosphere, he just doesn't have much to offer. Treant Protector is very strong at level 1. He can one hit, just kill off the couriers. But The overgrowth, it feels like it's always something necessary right now for them to be able to have some form of a lockdown. And let's see how they're gonna be able to do it this game.
Yeah, they're on the hunt for first blood again. Oh, they spotted out Lycan. Lycan, of course, should have seen them in return as well. So don't think they can catch anybody off guard. Toys should be standing far enough back as well. Or is he actually? Is red? No, they back off to the tier 2 tower, man. I was scared for a second.
Oh, you do not want to run into a Treant Protector at level 1. His punches, I think that he has probably the highest base damage in the game, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, he should.
And every punch he dishes out early game, it's like, whoa, getting punched by Rocky.
Oh, that comparison, man. Oh, it's more or less accurate because it does really hurt so much. And if I'm not mistaken, Treant Protector is the only one hero who can, just with his base damage, kill a courier with one hit. Or a walking courier, that is.
Yeah, indeed. That's some sick right clicks. But Jakiro, we didn't talk about this hero much. I love Jakiro. I think it's one of the better supports in the game. And it does very nice against the Faceless Void before he gets a BKB. Whenever he chronos your teammates, you can just throw down an Ice Path. Later on, you even have the Macro Pyre to dish out. And the Dual Breath is always nice as well. And Liquid Fire, that skill doesn't take any mana, which means you can just use it over and over again as he is using it right now. And it works wonders against towers. Towers, essentially, their attack speed just becomes a crawl. Does nothing at all.
Yeah, it's really strong, the hero, and with the Shadow Demon, just disruption, set down the Ice Path. The timing doesn't even need to be absolutely perfect for you to actually land it. Ice Path, of course, is there for a small amount of time, but Chegosaurus, he takes a lot of harassment here. I mean, Ancient Apparition, he's staying rather far back, throwing in a couple of right clicks every now and then onto Rin's Lycan, but Red, he just wants to be sneaky, get into position properly, and now they're gonna go in, or are they Red? Can you get the leech hit? No, they back off. I was really hoping that they're gonna go there, but nope.
Yeah, you want to see the man up fights, right? But it's so hard. How are you gonna really go in up against a Shadow Demon, as well as a Jakiro? Sure, he doesn't have Ice Path right now, but once he does, it's gonna be ridiculously hard to initiate upon. And I guess Jakiro is another hero that I forgot to mention that is a very good supporting hero when it comes to defensive plays. But the Jakiro right now, he just offers you so much. He's got a good team fight. He can push, he can defend. If I want to be salty, then the only downside I can really see for this hero would be, hey, if they're fast, highly mobile heroes, there's absolutely nothing you can do with a Jakiro. Such as Storm Spirit. What do you do when he just keeps on rolling around? Unless, of course, you can get a Yule Scepter. Then you just Yule him, drop the Ice Path, then that's some guaranteed lockdown. But other than that, it's just way too difficult.
Yeah, and actually, one thing I just thought about as well is, if Insidious idle, they're gonna go aggressive in the top lane, somebody gets defensively disrupted, then Invoker is like, huh, defensive disruption? Yeah, that's just perfect setup for Sunstrike actually.
That is true. That is very, very true.
So, will the Shadow Demon actually have that in mind while going for disruption, rather than just trying to disrupt anybody of Insidious idols to mitigate the damage or reduce the damage incoming?
Wow, I will have a great time though if, say, Toys, he uses an offensive disruption, and then Sunstrike, and then Invoker's like, oh, Sunstrike opportunity, and then throws down the Sunstrike on his own teammate. that would be funny.
Man, it would be extra funny if there was friendly fire in Dota.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it should be an option from time to time. Like, sure, you
in
can
some
deny your
games,
teammates.
like troll game modes, like ability draft with friendly fire, yeah, why not?
It should be that you yourself can toggle on and off.
Oh,
of course, it's a full match.
Your teammates are not gonna be happy. Kanka, Tidebringer, bam, everybody's dead. But, oh, we finally see an initiation. Ice Path comes down, they're going for Netharian, of course. Time Walk is there for Chegosaurus. Will he actually put it to use as well? Netharian, one more right click. The Liquid Fire flew, and now Chegosaurus disrupted up as well. Wolves are spawned, Chegosaurus Time Walks out, just barely.
At the same time, Treant Protector has rotated mid and helps Isera get a pick off on the Viper. That's pretty big because Invoker was struggling mightily up against X-Shadow as Viper. I mean, Viper, as Fear has mentioned, he hates the hero, and so do I. I think It's just so annoying to deal with. And Viper, man, just looking at the hero, instant facepalm.
This is really annoying. Just the Crozer skin in itself already. Just trying to chase him down is going to be so hard throughout the entire game, really, and he's so tanky to bring down anyway. Of course, once you just really get the chrono going, any hero can just melt if the combination is spotless. But looking at this bottom lane as well, just lasted twice, the Batrider, actually they're just completely neck and neck, 13 and 5 for both now. Razor pulls ahead with one lasted, but still pretty damn close. Actually in that matchup, who do you think should dominate, or is it actually as even as those players make it to be now?
Wow, Razor up against Batrider. This is not a matchup that I've played often, but I feel Razor should have an easier time, because if Batrider does decide to chase you, you have enough magic stick charges, and if you only stack maybe 2 to 3 times, you can potentially turn around and fight. Potentially, I don't know. Like I said, I haven't played this matchup.
Time walk top lane, they're gonna go on the Lycan. Will it be enough to chilling touch activated as well? Are they gonna turn it around actually? 12 rep? Nope. Ice Path. He's waiting for it, waiting for the perfect opportunity. Gets Shagasaurus. The Sunstrike comes out, actually hits mostly toys, but Rin goes down in the end. Shagasaurus now turning it around. Some backtracks. The shield keeping him alive as well. But in the end, it is a 2-for-1 exchange. Still favoring Insidious Idol though.
Wow, the backtracks that came out. Life-saving. I mean, Faceless Void, even though he died, he did manage to get quite a bit of XP from those opponent deaths. What's happening at mid though? It's Sarah, he's copying so much damage, just one more right click. Yeah, and he goes down. But Shagasaurus, as soon as he respawns, he gets a kill in return, so maybe that death wasn't all that bad for him.
Yeah, it's actually pretty damn good. Shagasaurus, he's about to hit level 6, just hits it as well. I mean, in 10 seconds time, Invoker, when he respawns, has the Sunstrike available. Shagasaurus can just go for the Jakiro, maybe even. And yeah, he's gonna go for it. Assistance is on the way. Treant Protector. Oh, couldn't even get the leech hit off. Just ran into the Chrono, but leech hit comes out just after the Sunstrike. Ice Vortex by Neltharion. And well, I mean, that rotation, or rather the Viper going for the Invoker, in the end, just worked out in Insidious Idol's favor. Quite heavily so.
Wow. So a lot of exchanges during this early game phase, and who has the upper hand so far? Sure, Insidious Idol has more kills, but in terms of last hitting and
Cold Snap onto Rin, Leech Hit. Actually doesn't have enough mana for its red. How unfortunate. Leech Hit would have been enough. Actually now finally he ticked enough mana. Ring of Basilius helping out by Ysera. So, I mean, I guess last hit wise, even that doesn't make too much of a difference anymore as Lycan falls for the second time.
Man, those right clicks from Treant Protector looks like Hajime no Ippo, man.
Oh. Unfortunately, only
so
anime people will get that.
But that was so painful. Look at the Lycan, he's like, oh shit, have to run away. Just can't stand there and tank it up. Impossible.
Impossible! He is farming out the Force Spirits, or at least trying to do so. And actually, Treant Protector picking up a Medallion of Courage. So, gonna help out a lot with that, of course. Faceless Void, win the Chronosphere, can input some additional damage. Unfortunately, the time lock is actually magical damage.
Wow. I'm still reminiscing about, like, even the Wolverine can't stand up to the face of, like, the Treant right clicks. Too strong.
Oh, what Jagasaurus? Unfortunately, no Chronosphere, but still, he wants to time walk in aggressively. Are they ready to take the fight though? I guess they are. They're going on Rin Lycan. No level 6. Sunstrike coming out as well. Oh, it actually Rin. He couldn't get it into the Sunstrike because of the slows, but in the end, makes little difference as Jagasaurus still wants to go Chronosphere 1-0. And is he gonna go for it, toys? Yes, he is. They want to set up an easy kill. Actually, do they have enough damage? They should. And well, Ice Path just a tad too late. Although Faceless Void under the tower, living armor. He's just fine.
The Wolf Blocks. That was really unlucky. The Ice Path was just a fraction of a second too slow. Well, I guess that's the end of the fight at top. But so far, it's definitely favoring Insidious Idol. But what's the turning point for Milk? I feel like maybe it might be time for the Lycan to start rotating into jungle. He needs the farm. If the Lycan can get his items, if he can get the Ring of, not Ring of Basilius, but the Vladimir's Offering, and if anyone else has a Medallion of Courage, that could easily mean a Roshan, and that could shift a lot of the heroes towards the Roach Pit.
Oh, never mind. I thought the X Shadower with the Viper Strike might actually have had enough. Invoker Of course, X-Shadower, he can't be sure, but Invoker doesn't have a single point into Vex, so no Ghost Walk to get out. But mid lane, are they gonna go now? Shakiro makes his rotation just a Liquid Fire harass.
Yeah, because Milk, their lineup is just so good at pushing. If they can shift the momentum towards Roche Pit, force everybody.
Mid lane again, Ysera, this time there's the Viper Strike, Ice Path to follow, even the Macro Fire spent, and Ysera should go down, and indeed he will. Actually cut the Cold Snap off Leechy this there as well, X-Shadower. They needed like one extra hero to come there, and actually, Neltharion, he is only one creep off of level 6. So those Ice Blasts might just make a huge difference in the ability for Insidious Idol to just set up kills on the map.
I'm definitely still waiting for the game-changing item, and that's gonna be the Batrider's Blink Dagger. Once he has a Blink Dagger, I want to know just how much he can do. But so far, look at it, he is getting zoned out time and time again. Just by the Static Link plus Plasma Field combination and the Sunstrike! It lands perfectly on the Batrider. Wow. So the Blink Dagger is getting delayed even more. Still needs another 300 gold.
Yeah, that's actually pretty damn huge, especially since Invoker, with his death, he was just getting farther away from his Hand of Midas being finished, but now, suddenly, only 400 gold short still, although, by all intents, it's gonna be a rather slow Midas. Usually you see it like 8.5 minutes, 9 minutes in. But bottom lane, their rotations are coming out. Will they get the disruption? A really long range one. Ice Path to follow up as well now. Not Batrider, the Viper. He comes in and shoot. Well, nice try to TP out, but not quite. But the counter initiation, it's coming. Shagasaurus, he goes in. Chronosphere onto 2. Will it be enough? The Ice Blast is following the Sunstrike onto Shadower. He just gets melted. No mech chance for him even. But Batrider is there. Has the lasso as well. Who's he gonna go for? Shagasaurus. He gets caught. He just burnt up in the Firefly by the Liquid Fire as well. And Batrider now, he even makes it out, so in the end, Insidious Idol, I mean, it looked good with the counter initiation, but it was an even trade and the Chronosphere was spent.
Wow. Indeed, indeed. It seems fairly even, but at mid, where did the Viper die? Was that mid or was that bottom?
Oh no, he was bottom. He was the one getting caught by the Chrono and blown up.
Oh, you're right, you're right. How could I have forgotten that?
And mid lane, Viper, he comes back. Can you get the Viper Strike? No, Ysera is far enough back. But with this fight now, he suddenly has his Blink Dagger.
And Rin.
Top lane, Rin going for the TP out. Sunstrike, too late.
He has his flats and treads, so he's ready to take Roshan now. And because everything was happening at bottom, he was free to take the tower on top. So now we have a 2 tower advantage. No, a 1 tower advantage for Milk.
Yeah, but looking at the graphs, it's actually a 3,500 gold lead for Milk. XP now in their favor once again by, well, around 1 to 200. So XP wise, it's completely even. Although the kill score does favor Insidious Idol. But Milk, I mean, they're doing kind of what they should as well. Just having a Shakiro, having a Lycan, pressuring the towers, and now they want to set something up bottom lane. Chronosphere is on cooldown for another 20 seconds. So if they are fast enough, they might just get a team fight, get the tower. But if they delay it out for too long, the Chrono might be their downfall. But now, he goes in, gets the Lasso on the faces. Can they actually blow him up? Macropyre, Ice Path. Well, they sure as hell can, but the Ice Path connects on 4 heroes. Just the Overgrowth only catches the Viper, unfortunately, but the Chaos and Meteor. The combo, not only with the Lycan, or not, I mean, Faceless Void. Also, Overgrowth, I guess it does work to some extent for them. And Rin makes it out with the Shapeshift, or does he? The Chase? Do they really want to go? No, they don't.
Wow, that flying meatball of doom just then. That's why the skill got nerfed so much. I still remember when it used to be, what, 35-second cooldown? It's ridiculous. Every minute or so, you just keep throwing down the meatball. And there was no other way to play Invoker at that time.
Yeah, it's just so much damage. Especially if the Ice Blast connects as well. Viper's mech really isn't gonna do him any good. And the Ice Blast connected on 3 to 4 heroes. If my eyes didn't deceive me about the tower. They're still pressuring Chagasaurus. He goes in the Chrono only onto 1 hero. He was so eager to get it. The Ice Blast is flying, but a nice defensive disruption just completely saves Dev's ass. And now, he goes back in. They get the Ice Blast. Chagasaurus, he goes down. But can they get any returns? Well, nope. Macropyre comes out. Ysera, he's in it as well. He's so slow. Only 1 point into X. But fortunately for him, there is no detection on Milk. But can they go for more? Gonna slow down Neltharion. 1 stack of sticky napalm. Make it 2. 2. Will it be enough with the static link? No. Gonna be cancelled immediately. So just 2 kills given away.
Oh, I bet you love that name. La la la. La la, I'll do this. La la la, do that.
Of course.
As a matter of fact, speaking of la la la, you owe everybody a karaoke session, Coucher.
Yeah, man, I told you before I'm gonna do it this weekend if we have enough cast-free time and upload it to YouTube. Are you gonna chosen the song? Or at least probably I know what song I'm gonna do.
Well, let's keep that a secret until you actually do it. Oh, the Sunstrike! Wow.
It's spread between all the heroes.
Yeah, if it hit on a single hero, most likely either the Batrider or the Shadow Demon would have fallen right then and there. But because it's shared between 3 heroes, everybody gets away safely. And would this be a good timing for Milk to go for a Roshan? Nobody's prepared for it so far.
They would do it so damn fast as well with the Lycan, and well, I guess they either heard you or they read your mind, because they're gonna go for it. Chikiro, Liquid Fire on Roche. Actually, Force Staff is being worked on by Chikiro as well. Mech, though, is now also finished on Insidious Idol. Finally, Chu gets it on the Razor. So both teams, they will have the heal at their disposal at least.
Indeed, this is going to be an extremely fast Roshan. And this game, it's looking pretty good for Milk, even though they're behind in terms of kills. Things are going their way, definitely.
Yeah, and the gold just actually is pretty damn high already. With this Roche coming down as well, it's probably gonna jump up to 7,000. XP, well, not nearly as significant, but still. I mean, Elite is Elite. 1.5k, they'll take it.
Indeed, indeed. This is somewhat like the 20-minute mark is pretty much the time where Lycan hits his peak, essentially. It's a time where he can just straight up fight people. And with, say, 20-minute Necrobrook 3, it's not that far-fetched generally. But he did struggle a little bit during the early game with like 3 deaths to his name. But if he gets around a 22-minute Necro 3, he's going to be an unstoppable pushing force. Whether he decides to join the team or goes off and pushes by himself. Because his team is pretty capable of finding pickoffs, pretty capable of pushing towers on their own. And if the split comes, who's going to be able to stop the Lycan? Sure, we have the Ice Blast, we have the Sunstrike, we have the Chronosphere for the setup. We even have a Treant Protector who can run around invisible. But Lycan, the hero itself, doesn't have to be present for the push. With the Necrobook units, plus the Wolves, and compounded with the Howl, towers will still melt.
They most certainly will, and actually that is one issue that I have with Insidious Idols lineup. I mean, they only have the Forge Spirits. Yes, Razor, once he gets the Aghanim Scepter, he can of course push a little bit faster as well with the Eye of the Storm. But looking at his items, he's not gonna have the Aghanim Scepter anytime soon unless they do somehow manage to still get towers or kills. So
Indeed.
it's just a little bit hard for them.
Oh yeah, we should never forget Wolves. They're essentially invisible moving wards that can last hit as well. So if Rin starts to split push, unless Insidious Idol goes for a smoke gank, which would be fairly blatantly obvious, then with the Wolf scouting out any potential possible threat, I don't think Rin will ever get caught out.
Well, we'll see about that. I mean, Nature Skies definitely will help there. Possibly just sneak up a gank on him, whether to set up an overgrowth with additional spells or get the Chronosphere down like that. But Rin, if he plays it smart, he should definitely be able to just survive at least most of anything.
Wow, so what are both teams doing right now? It feels like, indeed, Insidious Idol, the heroes need a bit more level and a bit more farm. Shagasaurus right now, essentially just running around with the power treads. Doesn't have the extension item so far. Doesn't even have a proper core item as a matter of fact. How is, let's see, pressing F5 items. Isera, he has Necrobook 1. Just waiting for it to fly out.
Oh, Shagasaurus.
Everybody else.
I mean, Leap, Time Walk on cooldown. And X-Shadower, he can just play the bully all day long almost, at least until he has the Aegis.
Wow, and he picks up a Vitality booster, so does it mean he's gonna go for a straight up harder Tarrasque? What else can you potentially make with a Vitality booster? Vanguard?
I hope not Vanguard, I hope not.
Bloodstone.
I mean, the best Heart of Tarrasque just going straight up for it definitely wouldn't be bad. It would kind of ensure that he actually survives even the deadliest of combinations from Insidious Idol. Just, if you survive the Chaos Meteor in the Chronosphere, you're pretty much just gonna survive the entire fight, because how much damage do they have to output after that?
And I agree, I have to agree with you 100% right then and there. there's nothing. There's not that much burst apart from the Meteor and the Sunstrike coming out from the Invoker on the side of Insidious Idol. Sure, Ice Blast can deal
Viper
a
Strike
ton of
onto the
damage.
Razor. Just look at the damage. The mech comes out. Chegosaurus. He gets the Chrono onto 2. Ice Blast to fly as well. But they all blow it on the guy who had the Aegis. Chaos Meteor as well. And now Shapeshift comes out. They're gonna go in. La 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 la. Oh no. Nice Overgrowth actually stopping the initiation. Completely dead. And he still go for it. No. They actually don't get a single hero. This Overgrowth just completely stopped the initiation. Or did the Chegosaurus still might fall in the end. The Ice Wave actually catches 3 heroes. Now the Battle Rider drags his Serra completely out of position. But he still might be able to escape. Will we see another Ice Wave? It's coming off cooldown. 1 second, maybe too late. Ice Wave. He's still gonna go for it. He catches his Serra. Where's the detection? They pop the dust. They get the kill and I mean I really thought they might not get anything. But they just dove the tier 3. Got a beautiful Ice Wave from there. And we might be looking at the Rex. There are actually Razor has buyback, but Faces Void and Invoker, they're out.
Wow, so very big plays coming out from Milk. I actually think the Chronosphere was misused. They shouldn't have used it on the Viper because he had the Aegis. But at the same time, it did look like a pretty good opportunity.
Yeah, it was, I mean, and not only the Chronosphere, Chaos Meteor as well as the Ice Blast, all of their 3 huge spells just to blow up the Aegis. I mean, the Viper was, I think, around like almost half HP as it was anyway. So a lot of committed there, and after that, all they had was actually the Overgrowth. But that doesn't really deal any damage. It was just used to disengage, which even in the end wasn't successful.
Man. Well, Milk definitely have a firm grip of the game so far. If they just continue to push, I think after that bottom Rax, every time you take Rax, that is just so much gold coming in. Yep, and indeed, Lycan has his Necro Book. Just about needs another math. Another 500 gold, and he will have Necro Book 3. And Viper, how close is he? Wow, 500 gold away to that Reaver. So the next set of items are definitely racking in for Milk. Whereas Insidious Idol, they are starting to fall behind. And a catch-up Midas, I'm always worried about this. When you get a catch-up Midas, it's essentially saying, hey, there's nothing we can do right now, and we're gonna go for try to drag out the game as long as possible. But look at Milk's lineup. They're catered to pushing, and that's exactly what they've been doing, and that's exactly what they're gonna continue to do.
Yeah, I mean, why stop a winning formula? It's one issue, of course. Backdoor Rin, is he gonna be sufficient bait on the Lycan? And well, they see the Firefly as well. It's not really subtle, but la 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 la. He's still gonna catch Shagasaurus. Fully pin up, Ice Path, Macro Fire to follow. The mech comes out, but oh, he gets the time walk away. I can't believe he survived on now Rin. He's caught. Frostbite was there. Nice defensive disruption by the ST though. Natharian, he's gonna go down. Ysera drops slow as well. He's slowed, but Shagasaurus, he did go down in the end. I guess it was Demonic Purge damage or Shadow Poison. But the Chronosphere onto Rin Lycan, he's gonna go down. Probably, yes he is. The Wolves gonna get eaten up, at least one of them, by the hand of Midas. So in the end, a 2-for-1 and forcing the buyback on Faceless.
Wow, the question is, does Milk want to continue to force this? And if I were them, I'd probably sit back a little bit. Because hey, the heart is only a recipe away. We can also wait for the Lycan to respawn, who will have Necro Book 3, will have his ultimate up again. And bottom lane is always going to be pushing in, because they have taken the racks.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely can sit back, just like you said. I mean, when you have the Rax advantage, especially if you have such a strong push as well, you can just wait for the bottom lane to push in, and then go for a safe push yourself. Like you said, Necro level 3 is gonna be finished on Lycan as well. The Courier is gonna reach him just with the last recipe. And X-Shadower, man, if he gets the Reaver, he's just gonna be so annoying to bring down, and everybody who's gonna try to kill him, they're just gonna take damage in return and be slowed down by the corrosive skin.
Yeah, my favorite game mode is 1v1 Viper, where everyone just learns corrosive skin, and I only need to attack you once and we can both sit in the base, because this corrosive skin would just tick on both ends.
I definitely actually want to try it out someday, but the Battle Rider, he's on the hunt again. Blink, 4-step, can he catch anybody? He gets into tower range, but Chegosaurus once again gonna get caught. Ice Path to follow up this time. There's even no mech to try to save him. And no buyback, 50 seconds down for Faceless Void. And we might be looking at another set of racks, unless there's a huge overgrowth into Chaos Meteor, the Fang Blast. Chaos Meteor already down, just to clear up the creeps. X-Shadower has the mech as well, doesn't even really have to pop it. Chu gonna get slowed down by the Viper Strike. tower. The hero helping out, of course. Mech finally comes out. But the Necrobook from Isera actually is a small nuisance as well.
That's somewhat odd. Normally, when you see the opponent pushing in, you would drop the ice path earlier. So if they do want to go for your tier 3, they have to walk through the ice path.
Oh,
and that
linked in by toys. Disruption, Q, ice path there as well, but a nice overgo of the ice blast to follow. Is he gonna hit everybody? Yes, it is, Lin. He goes down, or Rin. Man, so close as Q. Right clicks from X-Shadower. Will get a return, so it was a 1-for-1, but the racks stand, and that's the most important part for Insidious.
Indeed. Still, I felt like if Isera dropped the ice path earlier, and then that would actually scare Milk off, because if Milk forces it through the ice path, you can drop the Meteor and Sunstrike or whatever combo you want to go for, and it's a guaranteed full duration damage. This Lycan though is suffering quite a bit from these pushes. He is with 2 kill and 5 death already. Before, when we saw him earlier, it was 1 kill 3 death, so he's still struggling. Probably a BKB would be his saving grace in this game.
Yeah, that's exactly
They
what
most
he's
likely
going
just
for.
need. Oh, okay. All they need to do is wait for the next Roshan, and well, with 2 lives, I don't think the Lycan has that much to fear, unless they decide to give the Aegis to the Viper, who might be a higher priority here.
I mean, but Viper, will he die? Oh, actually, I mean, even with the heart, 2.1k HP with Threads on Agi, it's not as tanky as I kind of imagined he would be, but then again, he's not a strength hero. Like, I just have the image in mind, like Centaur going for the Heart of Terrax, like 3.5k HP, something crazy.
Oh, Centaur, he can even transition to late game carry, get some Manta style, and then just let the illusions sit in front of the towers. And whenever the opponent tower hits your tanky illusions, they take the full return damage. Hashtag one of the quick ways to take down opponent towers.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a game where a Centaur, he dived tier 4 towers, I mean, and just diving there, fighting under tier 4s. The tier 4s, both of them almost died completely. It's like, what? Oh, but Roshan has respawned. Wasn't too long of a respawn, I think. All in all was like 9.5 minutes, maybe a little bit extra. But Necrobook level 3 even popped for that as well. I would have liked to see them not use it, although they're actually sending it out on a scouting mission at the moment here. Or now, they bring in their back, they can't make up their mind.
They don't want to do it, but at the same time they don't really have a choice. If they give away this Aegis, the high ground is looking very, very shaky with the mid tier 3 tower already gone.
When Viper actually does pick it up, I guess he can be a little bit more safe while just going for the racks or buildings. Just, of course, has the range on her, but now I just love it when teams smoke straight after Roche.
Oh, indeed. Making plays happen. But generally, opponents will fall back straight away after Roshan. It's like, yeah, you've got the Roche, you have the advantage. We acknowledge and recognize that. We're gonna bail. We'll see you in another 6 minutes or so, once the Aegis expires.
But what do you think, prediction? Are we gonna see a huge Chrono that can just completely win them the team fight straight out? Or will Milk just power through and take the racks on top of their 12k gold lead and 10k XP lead?
I don't think we'll see the amazing Chrono. I'm fairly certain the Shadow Demon and the Jakiro, they will be spaced out in the back, because those are the 2 crucial heroes that need to be outside of the Chronosphere to keep their teammates alive. The Ice Path is going to be very effective. The Shadow Demon Disruption, that's an even bigger spell to have. Yeah, and the siege begins.
Yeah, it's definitely not too fast, but now the Necros come out, the Wolves are there as well. Suddenly, buildings melt, and X-Shadower just all the while keeps on standing in the front ground. Nothing Insidious either can do, and I mean, if they're not even trying to defend the second they reset the racks, what can they do? And now Checkers once again gonna get caught. Ice Path to follow up. Well, he doesn't have a buyback because it should still be on cooldown. Or actually, he's just lacking gold for it, and that's GG. I mean, that was really anticlimactic. I mean, Insidious Idol, why didn't he just try for it?
Man, they felt like they just stood there and died. But I just want to say a little bit to the Twitch viewers. Invisible Blue, you are not by yourself. We're all here with you. Everyone's reading the chat, so you are not lonely. Don't feel that way. And over to you, Catcher.
Yes, guys, this was game number 2 as Drink Milk. They tie up the series, so actually, I still think they're probably not gonna make it to the playoffs. They need to win against Arrow 2-0 to have a chance. So, I mean, there's a chance, I guess, but a slight one. Whereas Insidious Idol now sitting on 2 draws. So if they need to also win against Arrow, kind of, because Rave, they have a 2-0 victory and 2 draws. So they're actually looking the best in this group so far. But this is not gonna be it, because the secondary game will actually start in 10 minutes, or if not 10, then 40. I'm not even too sure at the moment. Maybe they will start sooner as this game wasn't too long, but either way, we will have more Dota coming your way in about 30 minutes probably. So stay tuned, and if you liked us, be sure to follow us to just show us your support. Not only follow us on this Twitch channel, also check out HeflaTV too, HeflaMook as well, and for our social media, HeflaTV on everything. All the links necessary are below the stream. And if you want to support the casters directly to just us to be able to upgrade our hardware, get better graphics quality, and so on and so forth, get the website running, you can also subscribe to us. You will have 4 cool emotes to hang around on Twitch chats with, so at least something in return as well. But guys, just some songs as we try to figure out when the next game will actually start.
Wait, in the meantime, can we have a little bit of a culture karaoke preview?
No, I haven't had time to prepare, man.
Aw, that's too bad. What a shame.